Hi, it's Mike D at peppertreelane.com, and a very rainy day in Southern California. Good time to watch movies. So, we're going to talk about three classics from the 80s, or three hidden treasures, shall we say. And I like to dig for the quirky and the unusual. And by the way, the song goes, "It never rains in Southern California, it pours. Man, it pours." So take another look at that song. That's kind of a cool one that doesn't get played much anymore, from the 70s. So the first one is the Stuntman, 1980. Peter O'Toole, just a grand actor, one of the iconic legends of the golden era of film, which was like the 60s and 70s and 80s, I think. He was in Lawrence of Arabia, and he gives this Svengali type performance. He plays the director of a film that's out of control, and the budget and the money and the script, and the police are after him because he's not getting permits. He's doing dangerous things. This is Peter O'Toole at his best, playing a wild rogue, creative character. And so he's all wrapped up in making this epic movie. And the cinematography is fantastic. There's helicopters that swoop everywhere. It's just really epic. And then there's a criminal on the run, hiding, and his name is Steve Railsback, an excellent character actor who stars in this movie, a big star. And I don't want to give anything away. Let's just say a good place for him to hide would be to be a stuntman and change his appearance and hair in a movie. So that's where he finds himself, and the director and the criminal kind of collide and do a dance, and that's what this movie is about. And I wouldn't want to give anything away. It's just fascinating. I've never seen any kind of movie with this type of plot. I mean, you have to suspend belief for films, but they make it viable. So it works, and it's great chemistry, and just a fantastic movie that came out in 1980. It wasn't a huge hit, but it's definitely a cult film, one of those that grows over time. Steve Railsback, what you need to know about him is, boy, every kid in the 70s watched on television Helter Skelter, the two-part movie about the Manson family. Who did they cast for Charles Manson? They needed a wild-eyed, dangerous actor. They cast Steve Railsback, the guy who went on to do the Stuntman. So definitely watch both of those performances. And why didn't he go on to star in a whole bunch of movies? I'm not sure. He slipped into character acting, but that's fine. I mean, I don't think he's the type that would be a celebrity. He becomes his character. He was born to be a character actor and slip into that role. A chameleon, really. And so the best kind of actor, as far as I'm concerned. So try to find Helter Skelter. It's a TV movie from 76. And it absolutely tells the definitive story of the Manson family. That's why there's not too many films about it later, because it's been done so well on television, Helter Skelter. And so after that was 1980, The Stuntman, and the next one, it would be in 1984, and that's called Into the Night. Into the Night stars Jeff Goldblum, who's definitely kind of a cult actor. He's a lot of people really enjoy his movies because he's so sarcastic, and he's got great one-liners. If you see Jurassic Park, you know what I'm talking about. It's almost like he's in on the joke in some of these films that are kind of over the top. So he plays opposite Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, they're complete opposites. He lives in LA. He drives in traffic to a boring job. His marriage is dull. Everything about him is routine. and he has insomnia. He can't sleep. So he ends up driving to an airport late at night, just randomly, something to do. And he collides with Michelle Pfeiffer, who is a woman of mystery and danger and intrigue. And they go on an adventure into the night, all night long, running around Los Angeles, very iconic places like Ship's Coffee House, things like that. And if you know, you know. I mean, really great, iconic 80s postcard from that time. And they have an Elvis impersonator, and David Bowie shows up in a cameo, and he's great. Just being that one little character in that moment, perfect for David Bowie. And it's funny, but it's also dark and can be violent and edgy. It can be serious. It's a shifting in tone. It's all of those things, which is why I like it so much. It's definitely quirky. You don't know what's going to happen with this movie. There's no predictable ending here. Um, I think it helped make Michelle Pfeiffer a star. She's very glamorous and exciting, and um, plays a character that might be good, might be bad. You don't know. You have to follow along the movie to find out these things. So in the background, there are directors that are. Some of the actors in the background are directors. Like there's a limousine driver who's played by Roger Vadim, who directed Brigitte Bardot. So that's another funny thing is they used John Landis and other well-known directors in the background as bit players. Very amusing. So that came out in '84. It wasn't a big hit movie. It did well, I remember. And if you were a fan of those actors, you definitely wanted to go see it. She had kind of started off in Grease too. And that's just a great movie. I love Grease too. People like, oh, it's a sequel. It's not as good as the first one, but definitely check her out in Grease too. And then she went right into the Night and became a star around that time. So that would be number 2 on the list, is to check that one out. And then the third film is called Real Genius, and that came out in 1985. It starred Val Kilmer, who was up and coming, and this was a big star performance for him and got him a huge wide audience. A lot of movies are about dumb and horny teenagers like Porky's, and there's a whole slew of exploitation movies in the 80s that you can watch. A lot of them are low budget, about teenagers just, doing ridiculous things and being kind of dumb. But Real Genius takes the opposite approach. These are all smart students who went to Caltech, and they are totally brainy. They're in the physics program, and they're going on to solve all the major problems of the world and computers and space. And the whole script is totally brainy and fascinating. So it's a unique film in the teen genre, in that everybody is trying to outsmart everyone else. There is a guy who graduated a long time ago, but still lives on campus, and there's a whole aspect of just because you're really smart doesn't mean you have any practical skills. You may not be able to fit into society or have good social skills. And it kind of delves into this aspect. It is a comedy, but there's definitely a very serious plot, and you really get into it. You really want to go into the adventure with this group of characters. So that one did pretty well. I remember at the time, the smart people got it. They went to see Real Genius, and it definitely ran on cable for a long time. This was the era of cable television, where things would really be running late at night. And even though you were underage, you could see an R-rated movie. And films definitely started to have an afterlife on television, and in the 80s with the rise of cable TV. So I believe that's where I saw it at the time. So just to recap, I recommend The Stuntman as a bonus. Make sure you watch Helter Skelter. Try to find that. It's a TV movie. Steve Railsback. And in 84, Into the Night. And you'll love the chemistry with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. Kind of an opposites attract type of thing, but really well done. Excellent script. And then lastly, check out Real Genius, and you'll see why Val Kilmer was such a spectacular leading man who charged into Hollywood and did things his own way on his own terms. He did Top Gun the next year, so between Real Genius and Top Gun, that really put him into stardom. And he dated Cher, I think, around that time too. So, that's definitely a way to have stardom and become popular and famous. And Top Gun was everywhere around 86. So I'll leave you with those three to go find, check out Hidden Treasures. I'll keep bringing you quirky and interesting stories from back in the day. And financial angels, please support my work at PayPal. I'll leave my email down below, or my password, and you can send the funds to PayPal to support my work. I'm at downpeppertreelane.com. Check out my store, like and subscribe. Enjoy the rain, everybody. Bye-bye.